Of Rain City Roar, recapping Hard Knocks on Butler.
I'm Neil.
And I'm Detroit Rick. What's up, bitches? How you guys doing?
Good, buddy. How are you?
I'm cool. Good.
Right
Glad to be here.
Yeah, we all had a little internet issues tonight, but we got it fixed and we're rocking and rolling. So let's just get right into it. Let's talk about the cuts. We talked about it last week a little bit. I've got a list here. Let's go through it. Just on the final day, was that on the 30th was the cut day? Looks like the 31st was the big day. So
it was last Tuesday.
Yeah. So they released Boyle, Drawd Davis, and Funchess, which were the big three. And then Boyle came back, right? Mm-hmm. They re-signed him to the practice squad.
They just
waivers.
They just recently re-signed him back to the practice squad.
Okay.
But Funchess, we got Siebert as a backup quarterback. So they cut Blau loose, who subsequently signed with the Vikings or was playing by the Vikings.
Yeah, well, have fun eating those Kirk Cousins steaks there, buddy.
Yeah, soup and a Sud. Neil, the backup quarterback got Sudfeld.
I'm sorry, Sudfeld. Sorry. Thank you.
I wrote that down. I thought maybe I wrote that down wrong. Where did he come from?
So many names, you know.
Who is this guy?
Yeah, who is that guy? Do you know? Do any of us know?
He was the backup from San Francisco.
Nice.
San Fran.
And then
I knew that.
Well, what did Blau? What do you think Blau's going to do over at Minnesota? You think he's? I mean, how does that work? Are they allowed to just give up all the plays? I mean, is that why Minnesota grabs him? I mean, it seems like there's an integrity issue there.
You see that sometimes where guys that get dropped from a team will get picked up by next week's opponent for a little bit, and you know, if one team didn't think that I was good enough to play for them and another team is paying me money, then yeah, I might tell you a trick play or two, but it depends on the relationship that I have with those folks. Like, I'm not just going to go in there and sell people out. I'm not going to compromise my integrity personally. But like I said, if it was a thing where we're playing the Lions, or the Vikings are playing the Lions for the second time this season and Blau's still on the team, then and they can clearly establish that this isn't intended just to be like a hit and quit type thing. Yeah, maybe something starts kind of coming out there towards the second matchup, but I don't think that Blau's the type of dude that would go in there and just spill the beans. But it's not uncommon. It's not uncommon.
Cousins gets hurt and he becomes a starter. I guarantee it. The plays are going to be out there.
He's going to use that to any advantage he can.
Oh, yeah.
If he comes in, Cousins gets hurt, and he becomes a starter and takes him to the playoffs.
You don't think
it?
You don't think Richard Sherman shared all them secrets to San Francisco when he got traded?
No, he's the guy that would do that. I thoroughly do agree that Richard.
Well, you don't sign a disclosure statement, one of those non-compete clauses when you're in the NFL, because you have no place else to go. I ain't got nowhere to go.
So after they released them, the waivers came. There was nobody really of maybe Trinity Benson was noticeable on that, but nobody really big on waivers.
Well, this isn't the time of year where exceptional football players get cut loose either.
Right. Well, and I take that back. They had Ezzy. Is that what he said? Ezzy tonight. So is it Easy or Ezzy? I don't know.
Well, they call him the nickname.
Call him Easy.
They call him Easy, but it's Ezza.
Ezza. Okay. And then Igwebuike, Godwin. Pimpleton. And Tom Kennedy. And then a couple of those guys came back. And then,
so you got
practice squad.
Right. You got Jared Davis back on the practice squad. You've got Tom Kennedy back on the practice squad. Dan Skipper, who's been a serviceable backup, he's back on the practice squad for the offensive tackle position. Justin Jackson, I was happy to see him come back. I think that he played well enough during the preseason and stuff to show that he could be plugged into a situation if he had to be. So he's a good guy to have kind of in the backup. James Houston's another one that I was happy to see land back on the team. But yeah, like I said, this isn't the time of year where notable football players are cut loose. This is teams kind of trimming down to the squad that they're getting ready to roll with, and there might be one or two changes here along the way, but nothing normally noticeable at this point. When you see the big names hit, it's kind of like right after the draft when that second wave of free agency happens, and the guys, the teams pick who they're going to pick, and then the folks start realizing where the ones that were holding out to kind of maybe try to pick the place that they landed rather than whoever's willing to pay me. Then you start seeing those guys kind of start shopping because their market normally dwindles drastically after the draft. So,
right. Anything? Is there anybody out there that you guys have seen that we would want to pick up? I haven't had time to really pay attention that much. Is there anything that stood out to you guys that you can think of?
I tell you what, man.
I haven't seen anybody.
I'm going to say this. Let me fact check real quick. But I'm going to say a name, and you guys are going to be like, what are you talking about? I don't think Cam Newton is on a football team right now.
Oh, I don't know if he is or not.
I'm pretty sure he's not on a football team right now.
Haven't heard his name.
Well,
that would be he probably wants money, starting. Well, maybe not top tier starting level money, but he probably wants several $1 million a year. And I don't know if that's something that the Lions are willing and able to fork out. They just had to restructure Decker's contract just to kind of make some room in there. But
yep.
I believe Cam Newton is a free agent right now. Honestly, if the price tag was the same as Sudfeld, probably gonna call Cam.
You think that
Dan
Campbell? Well, do you think Dan Campbell's going to bring that type of drama onto the team?
No, I don't think so.
That's a good point.
So either.
That's a good point.
I mean,
you get baggage with that.
But he could give him a chance, like done with other quarterbacks. But I don't see it happening.
I'll take our chance with Goff and Sudfeld.
Sudfeld.
Yeah, I still stand by if Goff goes down for injury reason, it's going to be an ugly season.
Well, it's going to be ugly. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. I was kind of talking about for the show. Our whole season is going to tilt on Goff right now, I think.
That's terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
That's terrifying.
You said it, not me.
No, I'm serious. I never said that I'm a Goff homer. I just said that he's the best quarterback the Lions have.
Yeah,
and that still stands true.
And I would much rather have Blau on our backup squad.
Yeah. The quarterback situation is a mess, but
yeah. So back to the guys that got cut. Pimpleton, I thought I knew something you guys didn't know, but I didn't because I was on Hard Knocks that he went to the Giants. I thought I had some good shit there, but nope. Dan Campbell had to say it on his freaking show.
Well, they can have fun with that because it didn't look like he couldn't catch passes there either.
He still dropped a few of them.
I mean, I don't know what his deal is, but
once he gets the rock in his hand, did you see him cutting and running like that?
He's fast,
man. But he's got to get the rock in his hand.
Yeah, he can't catch it unless they just want to.
But the dude can juggle his ass off. I don't freaking get it. What the fuck?
Hey, it's not a football.
That's a lot smaller.
Tennis balls ain't footballs.
He used to juggling his balls.
I tell you what, I think that I think that the show kind of did him a little bit of a disservice having his first couple reps there on the Giants is just like blatant drops. It's like, right. Oh yeah, this is why Lions cut this guy.
And you remember the first episode of Hard Knocks? He was juggling. He dropped a couple of them tennis balls too.
Dude, okay? So let me ask a question about. Well, I want to talk about this episode a little bit, and then we can talk about like the all 5 episodes kind of together on what we saw and what we liked, and if we enjoyed it or not, or however you guys want the conversation to go. But was it not incredibly awkward watching those cuts?
Yeah. And then the little short dude walking him out. What was he, security? Because he was itty bitty.
I don't know if he was security or a member of the coaching staff or whatever, but
he's just the guy that guides them to their next room.
You don't know where you're going.
The one that got me was the Ezra cut, because he was like, he came in, they were all hugging, they were all happy and smiling, stuff like that, and he's like, hey, are you having fun? He's like,
I know.
or do you have fun? He's like, yeah. He goes, okay, well, we're gonna cut you.
yeah.
But then we're gonna bring you back. I mean, with somebody. So me personally, if I'm assuming that he probably doesn't have a ton of experience with kind of the inner workings of the NFL and kind of how situations like that were going to go. I probably would have led into that a little bit. Like if the end was, we want to keep you on the team. I probably would have led with that instead of just because I feel like they made the guy shit his pants a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
The way that they kind of dropped that.
It's pretty uncomfortable. It was.
Well, I don't think there's a good way to do those, as they've said several times. But
like Neil said, you having fun? Yeah, okay. Well, you're cut, so see you.
Yeah. I mean, I think that overall it spoke a lot to the respect that they had for the coaches, because when all those people did get cut, nobody threw a fit. Nobody, everybody was very thankful, appreciative for the opportunity, and it might have just been because the camera's running, but I know those things don't always go that well.
Yeah,
I'll say this much. There was what was it? The Chase Lucas thing. He kind of annoyed me a little bit in this episode.
He did.
Oh, he was just kind of like always following the coach around. Hey, what can I do? I feel like I'm gonna be great. Am I good enough? It's like, dude, chill out. Just go out there and play football. I think he's gonna be Sorry, go ahead.
No, you continue. Sorry.
No, I feel like he has the potential. You could tell that. I mean, he made progress throughout camp and throughout preseason and stuff. But man, just having that. Oh, I feel like. I'll go back to something I said, recently off camera to. I think it was you, Rick. Was one of the biggest things that I think that we as a society make a mistake at is looking up to 21, 22-year-olds. We look at them and we use them as role models because they're public figures. They're in the spotlight. They are on TV every Sunday. And this guy did XYZ bad thing. He should be kicked out of everything forever. Now, I'm not saying that XYZ thing, Deshaun Watson, but I'm saying other stuff that like drinking things or speeding things, stuff like that. We have all drank. We have all sped, not at the same time. That's a select few, unfortunately, but
some of us have.
It's and then we look at them and we're so surprised that a 22, 23-year-old kid, which really they're okay. They're a young man legally. They're a young man, but sitting in our seats, we're a little bit more seasoned than that, and we still do dumb shit. But no, they do it, and shame on them. They should know better. I feel I don't remember where I was going with that, but I look at football players and I expect them to be. I still do find myself expecting them to be professional. So I'm falling into that thing that I was just describing of getting kind of tricked into looking up to these people and expecting more out of them. But looking at him, it was just like, this is a needy person.
Mm-hmm. He's a kid.
Mm-hmm.
He is.
That was Neil with the hot take of get off my porch.
That was not what that was.
It was pretty cool. Neil, you highlighted it last week, but it wasn't on the show yet, where he got the ball from the ref, and the ref goes, let me award it to you, and he gave it back to him. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was pretty
cool.
Cool. They're kids. I mean, it is hard to remember that because they're so athletic and they're so,
he doesn't look like a kid. He looks old, man. He doesn't look like a kid.
Yeah.
I guess he
are kids. I mean, most of them are just out of college, for crying out loud.
And like Dan, two things first. I talked about Pimp already. Dan Campbell, how he said that if it doesn't hurt, then you're in the wrong business. After the cut, make those cuts,
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. I mean, the coaches. We can talk about the coaches. I mean, Staley and Glenn are still going back and forth, and then you got Dan Campbell has an obsession with poop. And have you noticed that? I don't know what the heck's going on there. Did you poop your pants? Did you crap your pants? It's like he's got
you poop yourself.
Rick's dick obsession with poop. So, that brings me to another thing too. Watching this is that, it's kind of like one of those things where it's always Detroit versus everybody. But even my friends who, I have friends who are not obviously Lions fans, and all of them are just like, I'll run through a brick wall for Dan Campbell. I don't care, blah, blah, blah. And, it's one of those things where it's like the coaches are definitely making a difference, the perception of the Lions to everybody. So we were talking about that a little bit in the pre-show, which was if they don't perform, what happens? If the Lions don't come out and have a 7 or 8 game winning season, is
right. Yeah.
What's
the
next?
Fans are gonna, because like I was saying earlier, I was reading the Detroit Free Press and it's talking about how the home opener totally sold out. Now they're selling standing room only tickets. Like we talked about earlier, I told you how excited your fans are. Just reading some of the comments from people, they're stoked right now. People in Detroit are begging for this. They want this. We need this. But if we get blown out in this first game, that's all we're going to hear is SLO.
SOL?
SOL.
Sorry.
Damn slow, Lions.
How many drinks have you had, Rick?
None. I'm tired, man.
I got you.
I will say this.
What did I say?
Oh,
yeah.
It's okay.
We're not going to let you go.
Same Lions.
Same Lions.
No, I will say this. We're gonna have a packed house. We're gonna have a packed house on the opening on opening day.
Gonna be loud,
and you gotta be loud. You see that?
Gotta be loud.
I get it. I get it because I've seen it. And I get reminded every time that I go to Ford Field.
The place can be loud.
People from Michigan, from Detroit, the Lions fans, they don't just sit there and make noise for no reason. They don't engage with the game if the game isn't satisfying. So I feel like it'll be the Lions have to give them a reason to cheer, and they will be excited. The people will be excited. They'll make a lot of noise. We'll get home field advantage. But dude, when we're getting our asses kicked, there is no advantage on that home field for the Lions. It is dead silent in there.
That last drive that we went to the Chicago game there, and they won it on that last drive. That was, I think, is equally as loud as being up in Seattle at some point.
Oh yeah.
That was loud.
Well,
when they first built Ford Field, I'd read that they put metal plates in the ceiling to make it louder so the noise comes back down. I don't know how true that was, but I'll do some research on that.
All right, that's your research for next week, Rick.
Okay, got my homework.
I wonder in case of emergency if teams still have the ability to pipe crowd noise into the stadium like they did during COVID.
Oh,
yeah, that's interesting.
Wonder if the NFL ever repealed that rule.
Yeah. Was that actually in the stadium or was it just through the broadcast?
No, that was in the stadium.
Oh, I thought it was through the broadcast.
Because they had to keep it they had to keep it at like a certain level decibels and stuff like that. It was weird, but yeah, they were actually pumping sound into the stadium to my knowledge. It was actually into the stadium, not just the broadcast. I did see some times where like they had like CGI crowds and stuff. When they would zoom out from the field, you would just see little dark bodies just kind of mulling around doing the same motions and stuff. It was weird.
Right.
But no, Ford Field is a place that has the ability to be a loud place. And it's something that, there's 2 points to this. The Lions haven't given a reason for them to be consistently loud, and we've never just taken it upon ourselves to be consistently loud. But if we're sitting there when the other team has the ball, the thing that kills me is we're louder when the Lions have the ball, which is like the complete opposite.
That's when you're supposed to be quiet.
But that'd be dead silent. Dead silent when the other team has the ball.
That's that education aspect.
You mean the education about the game, Rick?
Got to educate them. Yeah, got to educate the fans.
That's one thing you got to give the C-Sucks fans.
Because the players be out there telling you, be quiet, be quiet. Then
Yeah.
One more thing. How weird, because I noticed it right before Eminem said something about it. How weird was the long handshake?
That was weird
awkward. That was very awkward.
I was like, what is going on here? Were they milking a fucking cow? What the fuck they doing?
It was just, I was like, okay,
they were doing this shit. I'm like, okay, motherfucker.
I was like, that's probably about a dozen up and downs right now. This has got to be weird. I was like, I wonder who's kind of initiating this. And then Eminem's like, how long are we going to do this for? And I was like, okay, that's the answer to the question.
How long are we going to do this?
That was crazy.
Was this not the worst episode overall?
Yeah, it wasn't. There wasn't a lot to talk about in this episode. So I think what we'll do is we'll just go to talk about our favorite thing to talk about every week, which is Rodrigo.
Cowboy, baby, cowboy.
Yeah, he had a good little segment on there. Have you ever been to that boot shop, Neil?
I personally have not. I'm sure Pops has. He came strutting in the house one day with some nice ostrich skin boots.
Ostrich is the best.
Not sure if he got them there, but he's definitely got some fancy boots.
So it looks like he's ready to play. I don't think there's any any
Yeah, so
question. He's not going to be out on the field the first couple
And
games for sure.
They said his jersey is the second highest selling Lions jersey
Yep.
behind Hutchinson.
Behind Hutch, I think.
Yeah.
I meant
Yeah,
sorry,
Hutchie.
Hutchinson. I meant Hutchinson. Yeah,
You
Yeah.
did say Hutchison.
No, he said Hawk.
I said Hawk.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. See, I wasn't even listening.
But yeah, no, Rodrigo. I mean, it's everybody likes him. Like I said,
Yeah.
still the worst nickname. But yeah, did you come up with a nickname this week, Rick? You're supposed to come up with a nickname. You guys were both supposed to come up with a better nickname than
Cowboy.
Cowboy's a good one. I don't mind that one.
Yeah, that was what I picked too.
Oh yeah, sure it was. Yeah, yep. I knew it. No, he's exciting to watch. I think that's going to be. I think that first game we're really going to see something from him and Hutchie until he gets that sack. I'm calling him Hutchie.
No, my thing about his nickname is I have an internal error that happens when I look at him. I gotta think about it when I'm not looking at him, and I only actually remember to think about it when I am looking at him. And I just, for some reason, when I see him, my mind just goes to Jose Canseco, and all I see is Jose Canseco.
Don't do that.
Huh?
And I don't know why. It's not. I mean, they're both large guys. No, I don't know what it is, but my mind just goes to Jose Canseco the whole time. And I'm like, yeah, it's a bad place. It's a dark place.
I don't know. I look at him and see Cornholio.
Jeez,
you know who he kind of looks like in a weird way if you kind of look at it really quick and then look away and you look compare him to the younger version of the person I'm about to say. He kind of reminds me of Joaquin Phoenix a little bit.
A little bit.
Oh.
He's got the way his eyes are, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So between Jose Canseco and Joaquin Phoenix, I'm all sorts of screwed up, and I can't figure this out.
Jose Phoenix.
he ain't got a fucked up nose, man.
Jose Phoenix, I like it.
Go back to talking about what we talk about every week: offense, defense. There wasn't a lot to see this week. I mean,
no,
we really. I don't think we can really talk too much about this, but I still think.
No.
I still think I have a lot more faith in the defense than I do the offense. Offensive line, I still don't have a lot of faith in working together, and the quarterback is just.
Well, you're not going to like this about the offensive line. You did. I can't pronounce his name, but Vitae. He's out for at least 4 games because he's on injured reserve. So much on injured reserve, you're out for 4 games.
Right.
So we lose him. Last year,
and that was out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. Yeah, back injury. So it's going to be longer than 4 weeks if it's just back. But last year, there was a Decker last year and the year before. Who else? Our offensive line just keeps getting hurt right before the season.
So the thing about Vitae is I feel like he was a failed experiment that they're trying to fit in. Because if I'm not entirely crazy, I believe they brought him in to play right tackle.
He's right guard.
I think is what they did. Or that I might be thinking of Ricky Wagner. I can't remember, but I believe that Vitae played right tackle at his previous team. I think it was it the Eagles, something like that. But
the Eagles.
But I don't think that they overpaid for him. I do think that they overpaid for him. And I think that you could still throw in like a Logan Stenberg into that spot and be absolutely fine, or Sternberg or whatever.
Well, they said who's taking a spot. I can't remember his name. Traeg or something.
Yeah, I saw something on it. I can't remember exactly what it was. I'll try to fact check here real quick and see.
So it says here the tackle, but how to say his name was the tackle and Wagner was the guard.
But that was a right guard.
Right, but when he came on the team.
Oh yeah.
So, all right. Well, I guess defense, offense is really again not a lot to talk about this week. So
there will be next week, baby.
Yeah, no, that'd be pretty exciting. What about the evolving season predictions? Have you guys decided what we're going to do with your final predictions for the year? We don't think we need to go through it game by game.
No,
we'll be thinking about that. We'll do that at the end. Okay.
Okay.
So remember, we got to finish that up. Let's talk about week 1.
Well, we got a home opener. It's going to be exciting in Detroit. Who knows what's going to happen?
I think we'll learn a lot about the Lions on Sunday. I really do. We'll figure out exactly who they are.
Oh yeah.
Is this something that's just blue Kool-Aid, or are these guys actually putting something together here? And I feel like they're putting something together.
I feel the same way. The attitudes seem so different this year. Of course, we got to see them on Hard Knocks, but we never really had this opportunity before. So how much of it is being on Hard Knocks? But I think it's pretty legit. They all seem like they gel pretty well, you know, and they talked about training camp, you know, and it's been exciting to hear all that. Of course, we don't know till we watch them play. We don't know who they really like, what their identity is going to be. Set the tempo week 1, baby, because they lose week 1. If they lose week 1 by a close score, then that's going to be acceptable. But if they're a touchdown or more loss, it's going to be ugly.
They're going to be at home. It's going to be. I think there's going to be a lot of energy. I think it's going to.
There's going to be a ton of energy, especially it's sold out. Like I said, Detroit fans have been begging for this shit since 1950. I mean, they've been begging. They've always had supporters. They've always came to these games and you get disappointed. So, God, I'm hoping for a good season. I will make this bold prediction right now. The S&P will close over 5,000, and Lions will make the playoffs. Write that down.
Oh boy, I think you just doomed us.
Definitely due for a stock market crash now.
Is that a causation correlation prediction there, or is that can we pick one? I think the Lions making the playoffs is more likely than the other at this point.
Yeah, I mean that's the Lions making the playoffs. I don't know. I'd love to see it, but it's second year under Campbell. Again, I guess it just depends on how it shakes out. Anything can happen any given Sunday.
I believe our second year with Caldwell, we made the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think it was the second year. Yeah.
And we did get robbed from Dallas that year, the next year, or that year. Yeah, that's the year we got robbed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember. They all blended together.
Yeah, they all blend. They all blend.
Well, I was passively Googling here for the past couple minutes because I couldn't figure out how to spell Halapaloovi Vaitai. He totally we'll call him Hal. He was an offensive tackle and converted to guard when he came to Detroit. And Ricky Wagner was the right tackle, I believe, from Baltimore that came in and didn't play very well at right tackle. So we figured that out. Setting you straight since 2015.
You know who I miss? I miss
you. I miss you, Butler.
Oh yeah, thanks, Ricky. I miss ZZ. I miss Zach Zenner. Whatever happened to old Zach Zenner?
Yeah, and he's a Michigan boy too. He went to high school with my nephew.
Oh, he's probably out doing brain surgery or something.
Long Branch, I think. Yeah, Long Branch, Michigan.
Yeah, I think he was a doctor, wasn't he? Or he's studying.
Rick, I think that you're mixing up. What was the other guy's name?
I thought Rick always said it was
defensive lineman. I think that you're thinking of was from West Branch.
West Branch, yeah.
God, it was just a couple years ago too.
Yeah,
it started with a V or a Z or something like that. We're 69.
Yes, it was number 69. Yeah.
Yeah, Zenner was the running back.
Oh yes, okay.
Right.
See, I'm just full of useless knowledge that doesn't even make sense and not even true. Keep you guys on your toes. Anyway, so Eminem coming to the training camp.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Serving up mom's spaghetti. Now, is that a real thing, or is that a real business he owns, or is that just
serving up mom's spaghetti?
Just kind of a joke on the rap there.
No, I think that was.
It all ties in.
Anthony Zettel was the person that was in West Branch.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Zettel.
No, I think that actually made me laugh a little bit was when they all had plates of spaghetti. What else are you gonna get from Eminem? What else are you gonna get from Eminem?
Yeah,
exactly.
That dude had a big old plate too, man. Meatballs look pretty good.
I feel like that visit was just like really awkward all the way around.
I was saying that earlier to Butler. He didn't seem right to me. He just seemed kind of, I don't know. I love Eminem, but I don't know. He seemed a little cocky at first.
Well, he's Eminem. Of course he's going to be cocky, but you could tell he was joking. I mean, he even said,
yeah. Well, until the end, because
he wasn't like me. He didn't say he could throw better than Goff.
Yeah, what did he say? He could throw 10 yards. But and then he goes, well, I'd knock your ass out or something. I got skinny jeans on.
Well, the thing is we got to remember that a lot of the people that are on the Lions right now were born in the late 90s and probably weren't allowed to listen to Eminem until the mid 2010s.
Right.
I think that if Eminem would have swung by 5-10 years ago, I think that you would have got a whole different reception. I think that people would have clicked with him a little bit more, but he's just this guy that was already famous. They didn't, I think the coaches, obviously, I think the coaches enjoyed it a lot more than the players did, but it's one of those things where.
Did anybody call him Slim Shady? Because if it had 10 years ago,
Goff called him Shady.
Goff called him Shady, yeah.
Yeah.
But you've seen the picture. You've seen the picture of Goff, though, right?
You see how tall Goff was next to Eminem? That dude is like Eminem said, man, you're tall. He's a big dude. He's going to soon be your favorite quarterback, Butler.
Yeah, I don't see that happening, Rick, but
I've never wanted somebody to eat crow so much in my life.
Yeah, you always want me to eat crow. You know who else I'm excited about was Alex Anzalone. Is he hurt or is he going to play?
No, he's good. He's fine.
Okay. Didn't really see him too much in the preseason either, but I'm pretty.
He had
excited.
nothing to prove.
He had a great season last year. It was one of the highlights of last year as far as I was concerned. So I'm excited to see him play again.
Yeah, he had nothing to prove between him. What'd you call him? Rodriguez. What'd you call him? What was the nickname?
Jose Phoenix.
Jose Phoenix. between him, Jose Phoenix, and Barnes, I think that because Barnes was playing pretty well.
Right.
He started kind of coming on towards the end of last season. He had a good preseason. I think those three. That's a good core. Two of them are very young. One's a little long in the tooth, but it's good to have somebody with experience that's been around for a while and has been a productive football player to kind of be the old bull in that. The old bull.
The old bull.
Yeah. But no, I think I'm actually excited about the linebackers this year.
Yeah.
We'll see when they start getting torched by tight ends, but
I think we got a lot to be excited about, guys. I really do. Trying to stay positive.
I'm gonna be the most positive person for the next, what's today, Wednesday? I'm gonna be the most positive person for the next 4 days, and I'm gonna walk in on Sunday very timid and very quiet, and I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna eat my breakfast, I'm gonna drink my beer, and until the clock hits 0 and the Lions have more numbers on their side than the other team has on their side, I'm not gonna say a damn thing to anybody. Because I know how it feels to get excited. I know how it feels to get your hopes up. We all do. It's dangerous.
I was really excited about the Tigers.
Oh, Tigers. Oh, the Tigers.
Yeah.
I was trying to explain to somebody this week that it's really cool downtown because Ford Field is so close to Comerica. And I said, this time of year is especially cool because you have the Lions playing and then you have the Tigers playing right there. And then I had to back up and say, well, maybe not playing, but both teams have games, and they're right there.
Yeah.
But
I had to deal last week with the sweep of the Tigers and them kicking our ass, and everybody's a Mariner fan right now. I told those guys, I said, well, since the Mariners have finally won a few games, you can trade them with Randy Johnson and Ken Griffey jerseys. Maybe buy a newer player jersey now because they're above 500.
Dude, they're playing meaningful baseball in September.
Oh, they're playing really good baseball.
Yeah,
but I'm talking shit about the Tigers. So I said to one guy was talking all this shit. I said, so how many World Series rings you have? How many World Series appearances? And how many playoff wins did you have? I said, so why don't you take about a minute look because you won't have to look too long. You have one playoff appearance and no World Series, so shut the fuck up.
Right. So what do you guys think about the whole experience of being on Hard Knocks?
Well, I expected something a little different. I thought it was exciting. It was fun to watch, but I expect a little more. I don't know. I expected something different.
What'd you expect?
I don't know. Some more excitement, some feel good, some pop. I mean, it was some pop, but I would love to see some good hitting. I would love to see a little more of the actual training camp.
The first 2 episodes rocked long. I mean, we were solid to that third week, and then you get to this week, and it was just like, it was just kind of this week especially was just unimpressive, inspiring. The only thing inspiring was when Dan Campbell at the end, asked to comment about the Lions and how how thoughtful he is and how he had to think about what he was going to say. And it was great, but the rest of it was just kind of like the best parts were the outtakes at the end of each episode. especially the last two, in my opinion.
I mean, it's an honor for the Lions we chose to have. It's an honor for the NFL to pick the Lions to do this, or ESPN to pick the Lions.
HBO.
Oh yeah, sorry, HBO. See, I'm all fucked up tonight, but I don't know. It was good. I don't know.
SLO.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. You were saying.
Oh no, you're okay. I'll probably fuck it up anyway.
What do you think, Neil?
I think it was cool. I think it was. I appreciate it being a Lions fan, and especially being one out here on the other side of the country where we don't get to hear the name said on TV because the bar, you can only watch it at the bar, and the bar is real loud. The coverage is limited. You don't get to turn on the TV and see Joe Schmo backup safety doing commercials for Bob Johnson's Ford. It's like
Right.
You don't get to see these guys all the time. So being able to see them and being able to kind of understand them a little bit better and realize that they actually do practice sometimes, contrary to how they play on Sundays, especially last year. But I enjoyed it. I could see the other side of the coin though, where people might look at it and be like, "Yeah, we're just getting paraded around," and you got the most exciting stuff on the whole season was the juggler, and he didn't even make the team, and kind of exploiting us for being bad for so long and stuff like that. But you know what? I think any publicity is good publicity.
Right.
And
They handled it overall well, though. I mean, the Lions they didn't really pick on us too much. I was really expecting a little more.
But I guess I thought to be a little more coverage of Goff, a little more coverage of Hawkinson, a little more coverage of our starters, our veterans. We didn't really have a lot interaction with them.
That's a solid point.
They did a lot of the rookies and stuff, kind of followed around, and then St. Brown got some good press time, which he deserves it because he's been pretty solid for us. But I thought I'd see more from the starters, the veterans, but there really wasn't.
Yeah, I think if you watch the in season with whoever's the in season, it's going to be
Cardinals. I think
obviously, that they're going to be following their star players, but
right.
Overall,
that's a good point. I didn't even really think of that. Yeah, we didn't hear from. I think you didn't really hear from the guys that had been there. It was all just the rookies.
No, I mean, I said that about Goff. I wanted to see more of Goff. I wanted to, if it wasn't going to see him play, which obviously we weren't going to see him play, I wanted to see what he was doing as a leader. And the only time he did was when in that game with Blau, where he said how many throws and how many catches and how many yards he had. I want to see a little more leadership skills from him, or see what his leadership skills were, and I didn't get to see that. So, what are you going to do? Let's finish up with the picks. I'm just going to go through mine, and then you guys can kind of send me yours in the chat so I can plug them into our deal here. But so the first week, I was the most optimistic of us all. I said we are going to go 14-3 in the fist week. Fist week. That's a new way to spell first. My final picks though are 9-8, and I'm going to be honest.
Ooh.
I mean, looking at the games, I just think I was in the moment going, I can win. We can win this game. We can win this game. We can win this game. And yeah, we could win any game. But then there were the games where I was like, well, we will lose this game. This is the game we lose. It was like last year when we beat Arizona. That I said at the beginning of that, I said, this is the type of game the Lions win. I think we had 0 wins at that point going up against, or one or two wins going up against Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. And we wiped, everybody played perfectly that day. It was a really good day. So I guess that's kind of why I finished up with my picks where I'm at. So, and you guys haven't texted me your final picks yet. So I'm going to give you another minute to do
I'm going to
that.
confidently say,
But text me first.
Text or message.
Never mind.
Neil, you were 13-4.
Yeah, I'll probably back down on that a little bit.
Okay.
I'll go down to 12-5. No, I looking at it, I mean, that's doable. That's doable. If these guys do have their shit together, it's all going to come down to Goff, I think.
That's what I said earlier.
If he puts it together, they have a legitimate chance of winning double-digit games this year. If he plays like he did for the majority of last year, no, it's going to be a long season. It's going to feel like 27 weeks.
So you're sticking with 13-4?
Nah, put me officially at 12-5.
12-5. All right. So Neil finishes up. Started at 13-4. Final picks 12-5.
Did I say 11-6? I think I said 11-6.
You said 12-5.
Go back to the tape.
Yeah, go back to the tape. Rewind it. Rick, looks like you're
12-5. I don't know, 10-7.
Thinking 10-7. All right.
Which would be a fantastic season compared to what we've had.
Oh yeah. Anything more than 3 wins is gonna be a victory.
So that kind of went backwards because me and Rick were the real positive ones at the beginning. 14-3. I went 9-8. Rick was 12-5, went 10-7. And then Neil, who's 13-4, went 12-5. So that was pretty good.
What are we wagering on this?
I don't know. What do you guys want to wager? Case of Montucky?
Yep.
I say a steak dinner.
Steak dinner. All right. I'm down for
we talking Outback Steakhouse steak, or are we talking fancy Japanese Wagyu?
Fancy Wagyu.
Wagyu. All right.
Fancy.
Do that.
Down in Butler's neck of the woods where it's cheap because,
Hey, there's some good steakhouses down here. I'm not going to lie.
I know.
Nobody eats
we
meat
ate
down there.
Oh, that's right. We ate down there. That's
a bunch of damn vegetarians and shit down there.
No, that's north in Portland. I'm down south in wannabe redneck country.
Guys that grew up in the town, never left, spent their whole lives there, 30 years old, have country accents.
Oregon townies, we like to call them. Exactly.
All sound like Larry the Cable Guy. I know that you've met a guy like that, and his name was probably Skip.
Yeah.
He was at the local bar, because I know those bars that you like to go to.
Where are you guys going to watch the game this weekend? I'm not going to make it up for the game, unfortunately. Sorry. Where are you guys going to be watching it at?
Did you talk to Purdy's?
I talked to some of the members of the team there, yes.
Okay.
Go. We're good to go.
Okay, and I'll get with Tony to the cook if he's still there. Normally he hits me up.
Okay.
We've lost our BLT shut down, and we don't like the other place. So.
I'll be watching it at home. I'll get on here and get ready, and you guys can join us again live after the game. Probably give us about 45 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes for everybody to get to where they need to go. That seems reasonable. But usually I know we were out of there right as the end of the game, so we can get back.
If it's a great game, we're starting 5 minutes after.
Exactly. Yeah, you guys will be in the cars zooming home. So can't wait to see everybody
next week. If it's a horrible game, we'll see you Monday evening.
Yeah, we'll see you Monday. No, we definitely want to get on and like I said, we're gonna really involve people for the first time next week. We've been kind of doing this our own and answering questions on the back end, but let's definitely involve people next week, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. So if you guys can make it out for game one, come on out.
And I will tell you this: if we don't go 10-7 with the record, with the schedule we have, fuck.
Yeah, big one. Yes.
Yeah, it's got to be a winning season. I'll take 9-8.
We didn't get any respect from the NFL this year because we have no national televised game except the Thanksgiving Day game, which everybody's trying to take that from us every year because they're trying to watch us get our asses whooped on Thanksgiving. So we have a favorable schedule, but no national televised. I know. We're real good at it. That's why they still have a tradition.
It's been a couple years since we won, hasn't it? I think
it's been a couple years.
3 or 4 years ago.
But the tradition and the Lions fans who come out there, I went to a Thanksgiving Day game when we beat the Patriots, and Moeller was our fill-in coach, and we beat the Patriots. We was close to the field. Brett Perryman was playing then, and Johnny Morton. That was some good shit.
Who are we playing? Are we playing the Bills this year on Thanksgiving?
We are playing the Bills, which is good for us.
No, that's gonna be a tough game.
Oh yeah.
Is that the Thanksgiving game?
I believe it is.
The 11/24, right? November 24th.
Yeah, I believe
I'm sleeping
it.
in. No, I'll be up for it.
See, for the Detroit folks, that shit comes out at 9 a.m. here. So.
Yeah, we've had a couple of Thanksgiving games where Neil's been passed out before 11 or 12.
After the game. Before Paula's done cooking dinner, Neil's crashed.
And then I'm up in time for dinner, and it's like I get a whole second day out of the
That's
thing.
right.
You're
Yep.
good to
Start
go.
drinking that beer.
Lions
again.
lost yesterday in my book.
2 for 1, baby.
No,
Right
sounds
on.
good. I'm really looking forward to this season. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm stoked, guys. We'll
Yeah, me
we'll have a
too.
good we'll have a good time next week, and let's just plan on being here about half an hour, 45 minutes after the game's over, and everybody can jump on, and we'll talk Lions for the first time, the official return of Rain City Roar. And I'm Butler.
I'm Neil.
I'm Detroit Rick. Peace out, bitches.
SLO.
SL. Oh, man, I can't believe I did that.